A beautiful morning to you out there. It's good to know that you're listening to I-FLIER 103.3 FM IBADAN. Thank you very much. Welcome to our newspaper review program again this morning. Press Drive right here. I am a driver this morning. ESTHER ATILOLA is my name, and our analyst is right here with me in the studio, Honorable Femi Adebisi. When it's time, you get to hear his voice. Remember, you can be a part of the conversation on Press Drive. You can call the studio lines, which are open when it's time. You can watch us live on our Facebook page at I-FLIER 103.3 FM Live. At I-FLIER 103.3 FM Live. Like, share, comment, and if you want to react to the stories this morning, do feel free to drop a comment right there. All right, let's delve into the newspapers this morning without wasting time. And we'll start with the headlines before we move to details of the stories we want to look at this morning. Of course, we'll also check out the front pages of, and one of the top headlines right there says PDP APC clash over one party claim. PDP APC clash over one party claim. Opposition attacks ruling party over economy and insecurity. Opposition attacks ruling party over economy and insecurity. JAMB, WAEC, go tough on exam malpractices. JAMB, WAEC, go tough on exam malpractices. You can find that on page 3 of the Nation paper. President Tinubu seeks lawmakers not to borrow 757 billion naira, $23 billion others. President Tinubu seeks lawmakers not to borrow 757 billion naira, $23 billion others. You can find that also on page 3 of the Nation paper. Rumpus over third term bid by Lagos Council Chair. Rumpus over third term bid by Lagos Council Chair. You can find that on page 28 of the Nation newspaper. And the editorial for the Nation newspaper, because it's something important also, that topic or title says Democracy at 26, still much to do. Democracy at 26, still much to do. All right, let's go through other headlines on the Nation newspaper this morning. All right, I'm saying this. Tinubu reviews strategic partnership with China. Tinubu reviews strategic partnership with China. Nigeria requires $100 billion yearly to achieve GDP target. Nigeria requires $100 billion yearly to achieve GDP target. Tinubu in Lagos for 50th ECOWAS anniversary. Tinubu in Lagos for failed rivers, says IBAS. Elite, elders, clerics failed rivers, says IBAS. Other headlines on the Nation newspaper also. 21-year-old fakes own kidnap, collects 2 million naira ransom from parent in Enugu. 21-year-old fakes own kidnap, collects 2 million naira ransom from parents in Enugu. 8 abducted WAEC pupils, 11 others rescued in rivers after 21 days. 8 abducted WAEC pupils, 11 others rescued in rivers after 21 days. President Tinubu restates commitment to anti-corruption battle. Tinubu restates commitment to anti-corruption battle. Now, let's go through the last of the headlines on the Nation newspaper this morning. Emotions as reps hold valedictory session for late members. Emotions as reps hold valedictory session for late members. President appoints governing council members for 3 varsities. The president appoints governing council members for 3 varsities. Federal government proposes a 3-year ban for malpractices. Federal government proposes 3-year ban for examination malpractices. President Tinubu seeks National Assembly's nod for 2025 to 2026 external borrowing and domestic bond. President Tinubu seeks National Assembly's nod for 2025 to 2026 external borrowing and domestic bond. Now let's go to the Punch newspaper this morning. Let's go through some of its headlines. Nigeria's debt to 183 trillion naira. Fresh $24 billion borrowing may balloon Nigeria's debt to 183 trillion naira. National Assembly set to approve Tinubu's loan request. Foreign debt nears $70 billion. Economists worry over high debt servicing. You can find that on page 17 of the Punch newspaper. PDP neck under pressure as INEC validates Wike-backed secretary. PDP neck under pressure as INEC validates Wike-backed secretary. You can find that on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. NFIU probes 48 billion naira suspicious transfers to Dubai and Hong Kong. NFIU probes 48 billion naira suspicious transfers to Dubai and Hong Kong. You can find that on page 7 of the Punch newspaper. Now let's go through other headlines on the Punch newspaper. Nigerians are used to easy money. Ojikalu defends Tinubu's economic reforms. Nigerians are used to easy money. Ojikalu defends Tinubu's economic reforms. U.S. suspends student visas as Harvard protest Trump's court. U.S. suspends student visas as Harvard protest Trump's courts. Still on the Punch newspaper this morning, Tinubu seeks end to bullying, pledges commitment to children welfare. Tinubu seeks end to bullying, pledges commitment to children welfare. Other headlines on the Punch newspaper includes 3 CSOs urge Southeast governors to address region's marginalization. 30 CSOs urge Southeast governors to address region's marginalization. Corruption not allowed in Nigeria, says President Tinubu. Corruption not allowed in Nigeria, says President Tinubu. PDP crisis. Makinde's special advisor tackles Wike. PDP crisis. Makinde's special advisor tackles Wike. Lagos enrolls 130,000 households for federal government's cash transfer. Lagos enrolls 130,000 households for federal government's cash transfer. Alia laments military's inability to tame Benue killers. Alia laments military's inability to tame Benue killers. Newspaper, so we can delve into the details of the stories we want to look at this morning. 2027, North South behind Tinubu, says Ojikalu. North and South behind Tinubu, says Ojikalu. Schools Protection Squad deploying modern gadgets, says coordinator. Schools Protection Squad deploying modern gadgets, says coordinator. Wamako receives PDP defectors into Sokoto APC. Wamako receives PDP defectors into Sokoto APC. All right, I'm seeing this also. Negotiate Yoruba Nation exit now. Akintoye writes President Tinubu. Negotiate Yoruba Nation exit now. Akintoye writes Tinubu. And finally, on the Punch newspaper this morning, Children's Day, Tinubu governors promise safe environment. Children's Day, President Tinubu and governors promise safe environment. And I actually saw another story still on children, but then it's possible we looked at or we'll look at that later while checking the details of the stories we want to look at. Now let's move to, details right now. And without wasting time, let's just delve into it because of our time. And I'll start with borrowing, debt. And this headline, of course, which is the first headline on the main headline on the front page of the Punch newspaper. Fresh 24 billion dollars borrowing may balloon Nigeria's debt to 183 trillion naira. All right, let me read the stories or that particular story. Nigeria's public debt is set for another significant jump as President Bola Tinubu has requested the National Assembly's approval to secure fresh foreign loans amounting to about $24.14 billion. At the prevailing official exchange rate of 1,583 naira, 74 kobo to a dollar, the proposed borrowing would add approximately 38.24 trillion naira to the existing debt stock, potentially pushing Nigeria's total public debt from 144.67 trillion naira at the end of 2024 to over 182.91 trillion naira by 2026. The fresh borrowing is composed of $21.54 billion, 2.19 billion euros, and 15 billion Yemen, using the latest market exchange rate with a pound rather to 1.1381 dollars, and the approximation converting them to naira, while the Japanese yen translates to $102 million. Okay, now in total, the new loans amount to an estimated $24.14 billion when converted at the official rate of 1,583 to a dollar. The naira equivalent of these loans comes to 38.24 trillion naira. And as of December 31st, 2024, Nigeria's total public debt stood at 144.67 trillion naira, according to the data from the Debt Management Office. But now, fresh $24 billion borrowing may balloon Nigeria's debt to 183 trillion naira. And of course, the National Assembly has given the president a nod to go ahead and borrow. Again, we're borrowing.
Oh, well, good morning, Esther. And, our debt, as it were, it was about 43 point something billion dollars. So out of which about 1 point something was paid, and people were clapping. Well, good enough, I clapped as well, but of course, I said not yet in Huru. Now, when over 1 point something billion dollar IMF loan was paid, then we are now seeking close to $22 billion. I mean, can you see the sharp contrast and the irony? I think it's so shocking, so shocking. But in analyzing this particular loan economically, we are talking about 21.5 billion. We are talking of another 15 billion Japanese money. Yes, I think Chinese money, and another 65 million euro, and another grant entitlement that have been spent by the government, probably spent or borrowed or whatever from the I don't know, I can't remember the name of the body that manages their something now. So, why the intention behind this loan is to stimulate economic growth and development, and probably several factors. But of course, every little detail warrants scrutiny. You see that most of those loans, they were just presented to the National Assembly on blanket note, not detailing, not attached to specific projects, which raises concerns about accountability and transparency. Without clear project outline, it becomes challenging to assess the potential impact of this fund on the economy. Meanwhile, our own National Assembly is not likely to query that, which is, I don't know. Another one is the absence of key economic driver in whatever they want to use the loan for. Major sectors crucial for sustainable economic growth, such as energy, steel, as if they have nothing doing with that particular, key sector of the economy. And when you are talking about economic growth, you'll be talking about energy, you'll be talking about steel, you'll be talking about ICT. But all these three happen to be visibly absent in whatever they said they want to use the money for. So, not only that, how about the issue of, what do you call it now? The issue of fraud, misappropriation of those funds. That was visible when the Accountant General did a breakdown of the IMF loan that was offset. That particular loan was given, but the loan was diverted to another diverted to swap up our foreign reserve and others. And not only that, the bulk of others, they were unable to account for it. So that had been a tradition in this country. And I query, are we truly serious at all? And when it comes to the issue of our economic reform policy, I want to say visibly today that description. So, you see, if you don't study the people, the economy itself very well, you are not likely to, you are not likely to tackle it head on. Our president happened to be, like I keep saying, he happened to be a fan of laissez-faire theory of economic policy, which stand on a tripod of, slowing down the economy, reducing people's spending power, and, widening tax net. Why widening tax net is very, very good for us, but at this kind of time, you cannot go ahead and reduce people's spending power. But of course, what happens today? Our spending power has been reduced. Why? Because Naira has been grossly devalued. And not only that, the economy has been slowed down, given various, prescriptions of these reforms. So, and look at the situation our president met on ground. We had suffered too much. Incidentally, Oji Kalu mentioned something on the pages of newspaper today. He said that Nigerians we just want free money. So we don't want to tighten our belt and all that. Yes, it seems to me as if, according to Kalu, we have two different sets of citizens in this country, the privileged one and then the subject. Okay, if you are saying that ordinary Nigerians, they want free money, then what does the politicians want? Do they work there? Now, every money they get out there is free, including Mr. President. We feed him, we clothe him, we house him. Tell me what he does with his earnings. He does nothing with it. He has access to free money and he's spending it. But we Nigerians, go to Iworo there and see how our youth, everybody youth, because they lack opportunity. Why? Because somebody is out there they have to feed and they have to labor so hard to send money home. So it's a whole problem. It's a whole problem. I think something keep me to get confused. I don't know. This money, I wouldn't want to say that is a pleasure money, Esther.
Yes, because honestly, seeing that particular headline, Nigerians are used to easy money, or the Kalu Defense Tinubu's economic reforms. I'm sure must have raised controversies.
So insulting. Well, see, on a serious note, are we not working even for the little one we had? And the little one we had lack value. If you go to the market with 10,000 naira, you can't bring meat that can serve everybody around in a family of 6 for a weekend. So we work so hard to get something that lack value, and then somebody out there keep saying that we want free money. I don't know what is wrong. Even when they borrow all this loan, what do they use it for? Energy is not a part of what they are spending this money for. Energy is not there. Even if you say, okay, let us diversify, ICT is another key driver of the economy globally today. We are not spending to enhance the capacity of our, infrastructure capacity. ICT infrastructure in the country. We are not developing our steel, despite the fact that we were almost there way back in the 1980s. Our steel was about 95% completed. Everything just fizzled out. All the money wasted, all the energy, all the prospect, everything wasted.
All right.
Otherwise, maybe we wouldn't have been relying on crude oil alone. Still would have provided another alternative. But where are we today?
All right, let's check the story out. Ojikalu also said something else, but then we'll come to that later. Corruption not allowed in Nigeria, says President Bola Tinubu. I'm putting two stories together, so we can quickly address that. President Bola Tinubu has restated his administration's unwavering commitment to fighting corruption and recovering looted public funds, declaring that there will be no safe haven for corruption in Nigeria. Tinubu made the declaration on Tuesday at the Ministry of Justice Asset Recovery Summit in Abuja with the theme Synergizing Towards an Effective Asset Recovery and Management. President Tinubu, represented by the Permanent Secretary in the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Madugu Gagari, said asset recovery was a key pillar of the national anti-corruption strategy. He lamented the detrimental effect of corruption on the national development, particularly in health, education, and infrastructure, stressing that repatriated funds must be reinvested into critical sectors to rebuild trust and promote equity. He also noted that transparency in the use of recovered assets has become a deliberate national policy, with many funds redirected towards high-impact infrastructure projects, including the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, Second Niger Bridge, Abuja-Kano Expressway, and rural electrification. IU probes 48 billion naira suspicious transfers to Dubai and Hong Kong. The Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit has raised alarm over an alarming surge in suspicious financial transactions from Nigeria to Dubai and Hong Kong, two jurisdictions it describes as emerging global hotspot. For responded on Tuesday, the NFIU revealed that it received 401 suspicious transactions report linked to both regions between January 2021 and September 2024, with the total value of the flagged transactions exceeding 48 billion naira. While only 185 of the STRs were caught, the bulk of the total value of 29.6 billion naira. Now, the remaining 216 suspicious transaction reports were traced to Hong Kong, valued at 18.6 billion naira. Now, the report noted a disturbing trend, a steady and significant rise in suspicious financial activity to both destinations from Nigeria. So let's put those two stories together. Corruption not allowed in Nigeria, says President Tinubu, and NFIU probes 48 billion naira suspicious transfers to Dubai and Hong Kong.
I'm very sure that our president did not say that corruption is not allowed in Nigeria. I'm very sure about that. Somebody must have said that on his behalf. Somebody who wants visibility. Somebody who wants to gain recognition. Because they all know that corruption, they all know.
He was actually represented by the Permanent Secretary in the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation.
Permanent secretaries, maybe he wants promotion or...
And you didn't think the president must have sent him because, he represented the president?
No, in most cases, they just say what they like to entice Mr. President. They just say what they like. You see, they all know that everything about Nigeria is all about corruption. In fact, Nigeria is in decay as a result of production. It's as a sort of corruption that you say. Corruption is embedded in our social fabric, in our economic life, in governance, everywhere. Tell me. Okay, what is happening? Do all of us do they not admit that our oil are being stolen on a daily basis? Is that not corruption? Okay, Kihari, what are they doing? Emefiele, what are they doing?
Bello.
Yaya Bello is there. He's now a part of a presidential campaign team. Even though the campaign is not yet, it's not yet flagged up, but of course it's on a subtle note. It's a part of, he's a key promoter of 2027 ambition of Mr. President. So what are they doing concerning that? Yes, our president, let us know visibly on day one that yes, we have to remove subsidy because the previous subsidy has been stolen by certain people. Our president lacked the courage to unveil the thieves, the subsidy thieves, till we are speaking. And some people said our president is courageous. But it's courageous towards, promoting reforms that will make people suffer for the sin of the subsidy thieves. So, I think we have something better to face. Yes. Concerning the money, how they...
Yes, please, before you react to that, because we have to take a quick break right now. Okay. When we come back, we'll take the NFIU story. We'll be right back. Please stay with us.
Buying the right product is inconvenience. Either you're buying for your business or home use. Femiel Multiventures, your ultimate shopping destination, stands out when it comes to meeting your event and family needs. Your next event or home use. We are also the best plug to get your rentals, chairs, plates, spoons, tables, coolers, drums, and all you need for your next event. At Femiel Multiventures, we also sell solid, durable, and affordable ice blocks to keep your drinks cool and refreshing. Come one, come all to also try our eatery and experience delicious meals like never before. You can find us at number 1 Pineapple Area, Iletitun along Oki Ogungbade axis. Telephone 0912-345-4561 or 0904-254-5770. Femiel Multiventures, your one-stop shop, evidence of things not seen.
Thank you for staying with us. So let's delve into the NFIU story.
Yeah, see, the NFIU need to tell the truth. Our money is locked up virtually in most of those big countries, including the United States.
Hong Kong.
Yeah, Hong Kong, go to Switzerland, go to UK, go to France, you know. And on this big note, I even the United States. We have money. In fact, our money that is locked up out there is more than our liquid money inside the country as it were for now. So which is threatening. And who carry them there? The politicians. The politicians. And yet somebody is claiming that we like free money. Nigerians
easy money.
Like Nigeria want easy money. So but what do they want? I mean, it's so laughable. I think they need to face, you know, the real issue, the real economic issue. I am telling you today, within the last 2 years, our economy has declined. The GDP was met in 2023 at about $450 billion. Today is about $200 billion. The growth rate has been reduced from 7% in 2023 now to about 3.4%. Poverty rate, I mean, of course, that one is unspeakable. And look at the, you know, the dollar exchange, you know, the naira to dollar exchange rate, which was met at about 550 to about 600. Now it's about 1,500. So, you know, they have something to face, something better to face, not rhetorics now. They need to be serious. And maybe that's the reason why the current administration is jittery. Because some people are looking at it, the government is performing according to most of the governors that are decamping now. The reason why we are decamping is because the government is performing. But I keep asking myself, I mean, where are those performance index? Where are they? Okay, you need to talk to the ordinary man on the street to know whether the economy is performing or not. You need to assess the condition of the people. But yet, even some poor people are almost saying that president is performing. But of course, I asked one of my friends, said, look, are you satisfied with the way you're living? And of course, this gentleman would say, oh, things are hard. I said, no, it's not hard though. Why? Because most of them, they are apologetic to heroes and individuals. They won't face the problem of the country very squarely.
All right.
And I keep asking, if you want Nigeria to tighten their belt, are you telling the newborn baby to tighten, you know, their belt as well? Because they have, I mean, whether you like it or not, they must feed. How about the youth? Opportunity must be created. Where are the opportunities? I'm telling you, in all sincerity, this is a direct opposite of what we had between year 1999 and year 2007. Look at the way and manner government unlock opportunities for the people in the areas of what do you call it, this mobile telephone. Look at how many people that have been engaged and still getting engaged even today. Look at the way and manner, you know, the education industry opportunity was unlocked in the education sector, so that, you know, private individuals can invest in tertiary education. Look at how many people that were employed. Not only that, even in broadcasting. Yes, people can. Private investors can look at. Can invest their money in the running of media outfits. Now, look at how many people that were. So that is how to create opportunity. But I am challenging this government. according to the promise of Mr. President, he said that, in fact, Fashola said during the campaign, he said that he should not take a serious government more than 6 months to fix electricity, and the scenario he was put there throughout 8 years, he was unable to achieve that.
Okay.
Yes, even as Mr. President said that, look, he said within few moments there will be 24 hours electricity in Nigeria, and if I don't achieve that, if I come to you for vote again, don't give me vote. Yes, of course we are waiting. So
what happens exactly when it seems like okay can be easily done before they get there, and when they get there we don't see results?
No, it's because they want to, they know us. They know us that we are cheap. They know that we are gullible. Our credulity is on a high scale. So they will tell you what you want to hear, not what they want to do. That is Nigerian system of campaign, because they know that you have no means of making them accountable for what they are doing. So they will still come again. Go and check it out. Wait for 2027. You still see her people. Doggedly, I don't know how to put it.
Let's come to this. I should have read this with the borrowing aspect, but then we can still read it. Nigeria requires $100 billion yearly to achieve GDP target. The federal government has disclosed that Nigeria must attract a minimum of $100 billion in infrastructure investment annually if the country is to meet its ambitious goal of attaining a per capita gross domestic product of $30,000 by the year 2050. Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Senator Abubakar Bagudu, made this known during a courtesy visit by the new Japanese ambassador to Nigeria, Hideo Suzuki, to his office in Abuja. Bagudu noted that road infrastructure remains a vital pillar of the Nigerian economy, given the country's dependence on land transportation for the movement of goods and services. And he said that the government is pushing stronger partnerships with international allies like Japan to accelerate infrastructure development and unlock key long-term economic growth. Okay, our Agenda 2050 long-term development plan has identified a minimum annual infrastructure investment requirement of $100 billion. Nigeria requires $100 billion yearly to achieve GDP target. $100 billion is huge.
See, that's my problem with our ministers and even Mr. President. They will give you figures, they won't give you the breakdown. So you lack good knowledge of assessment of whatever they are saying. So when you say $100 billion, where are the breakdown? How do you want to, apply that, to making life easy, to making economic runs? So you leave us guessing. And not only that, I heard, the power minister sometime mentioning that on a yearly basis, we are going to need about $10 billion for a period of 10 to 20 years. I don't know, 10 to 20 years. Those are,
$10 billion.
Yeah, annually. But of course, out of the loan they are taking now, not a single penny, is allocated to electricity or energy. Go and check it out. I read it through. So I don't know what they are speaking about. And for me, in most cases, I'm not seriously thrilled about what you call all these humongous GDP they are talking about. I'm more concerned about the per capita income. How does individual fare well within that economy they are talking about? So if the per capita income does not commensurate with the humongous GDP you are talking about, all is in sham. It means that individually we are not in the context of what they call economic reforms. So our life must be better off for it. So our economic reform, they keep assessing that, yes, of course, one thing I need to say now, this administration has successfully stabilized the rate of naira to dollar. You can make a guess that at least in the next few months, this is where it's going to be, between 1,500 and something to 1,600 something. At least you can make a guess, and that is useful for all these big guys that does international businesses. So but for ordinary man, it's nothing to them.
All right, so let's come to political party, PDP especially. Now PDP APC clash over one party claim. I have different stories on this particular PDP defection and all of that. The one-party rule issue came to the fore again yesterday, leading to a clash between the opposition People's Democratic Party and the ruling All Progressives Congress. In a communique issued after its 99th National Executive Committee meeting in Abuja, the PDP accused the APC of plotting a one-party totalitarian rule. The party spoke against the backdrop of the mass defection from its fold into the APC. Governors, senators, members of the House of Representatives, and other elected officials have deserted the opposition party, which is itself in turmoil. President Bola Tinubu, who spoke at the APC summit on Thursday, dismissed the one-party fear. Now, that did not stop the PDP from reaffirming the claim. Yesterday, the APC responded by saying that the PDP was hallucinating. Party spokesman Felix Moka, that's APC spokesman, said opposition parties are living with the fear of the harmless. All right, so that's one story. Now let's come to, that's on the Nation newspaper. Let's come to the Punch newspaper. And this is PDP in itself, the crisis. PDP neck under pressure as INEC validates Wike-backed secretary. The fact-finding committee of the People's Democratic Party National Caucus, led by Taraba State Governor Abu Kefas, informed the 99th National Executive Committee meeting on Tuesday that the INEC had recognized Senator Samuel Anyanwu as the party's national secretary. All right, now we recall that on Monday, NEC established a 3-member committee led by Kefas with some other persons in it. All right, and they are supposed to verify whether INEC recognized Anyanwu, a loyalist of Nyesom Wike, as the party's scribe. Now, multiple sources, including a NEC member who spoke to the Punch on condition of anonymity due to a lack of authorization to speak to the media, revealed that the Kefas panel informed the 99th NEC on Tuesday in Abuja that INEC had affirmed Anyanwu as the party's national secretary in line with the Supreme Court judgment. Now, to properly remove him from office based on the decision of the PDP governors and in adherence to the 21 days notice requirement, the party plans to reconvene by June 30. Now, this development may further exacerbate the crisis in the party and widen the schism between the party and the FCT minister, who threatened to pull out of the agreement he had earlier reached with the party's leadership to resolve the crisis plaguing the opposition party. Now, let me just add the story to it. But don't worry, I'm going to read the headlines so you can remember. PDP crisis, Makinde's special advisor tackles Wike. We'll recall that Wike said some things about Oyo State Governor. Now, the special advisor to Oyo State Governor, Seyi Makinde, on federal constituency matters, Daria Adeleke, has accused the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, of masterminding a plot to destroy and eliminate all opposition parties in a bid to make the All Progressives Congress the sole political party in Nigeria. Adeleke described Wike's persistent attacks on the leadership of the PDP as undemocratic and arrogant, alleging that the FCT minister's actions are part of a broader scheme to secure President Bola Tinubu's re-election in 2027. So let's take it one after the other again. On the Nation newspaper, PDP and APC clash over one party claim. Okay, and then the other headlines that I read earlier includes PDP NEC under pressure as INEC validates Wike-backed secretary, and PDP crisis, Makinde's that went away.
Yeah, Makinde's is that
is yes now. Replies Wike. So
well, let me just say on a frank note, one party
and Wamako has received PDP defectors into Sokoto APC.
Yeah, no problem. You see, the claim of one party state looks like that, but it is not possible.
Okay.
In fact, it's one of the greatest impossibilities.
For one party state,
it will never come. It won't come. That you are displacing so many, even within your home, within the already existing membership. Because the way it plays out is that when you bring in somebody, that person automatically is a threat to somebody in there already.
Okay, who's already in the party.
Yeah, and of course, the way and manner, before you bring somebody in, there must have been negotiation. Something must have been presented as, to entice that particular person. And what you are presenting belongs to somebody already. Are you saying that person will say, okay, don't worry, your guy, you can give it out? No, it's not going to come. So you have some people within the PDP that are outside the box already. Will they still go back into APC? I mean, talking about APC now. The likes of Yemi Osinbajo and other, especially the CPC bloc, Are you saying that they are happy and they will still continue? No. The answer is no. And two, look at let's take Delta for example. The old party PDP is now being submerged into APC in Delta State. Are you saying that the executive there will now they will just say, okay, don't worry, come and take our place? No, it will not come. So the party politicking is dynamic. So when you bring in people like that, so I mean you have to negotiate with somebody with whatever somebody already is holding. I mean somebody is already holding within that party. So you see people coming in and people getting out. That's the way it happened. That's number one. So one party state is not feasible.
But there are no persons getting out from the APC for now.
Oh, maybe in the next 1 year.
Okay.
In fact, a whole lot of people will be so aggrieved, and of course they will still remain because they are eating something. But let the real thing come.
Okay.
You see massive. You will see the way and manner people will troop out. That's number one.
All right.
And as a result of regional sentiment, you see most of the northerners that are key players, even speaking for Mr. President. I mean, that is why we get to know that they are not with him.
Okay.
Yes, regional sentiment will play a whole lot of factor. And coming to the PDP, the PDP is already divided into 3 major blocks.
All right, sorry, before you get to PDP, we still have to pay another bill.
Okay.
So when we come back, we'll take that and then we'll open the phone lines. Please stay with us.
Are you looking for the perfect spot to host your next event? Hall. Whether it's a wedding, birthday, seminar, or family gathering, our event center is perfectly designed to give you a grand experience. You can as well watch football matches at our viewing center, which brings the stadium experience right to you. For the kids, our children playground is packed with fun and safety. We also have a game center with varieties to keep the fun going, and a guest house for relaxation and comfort. Why settle for less when you have the best? Located beside Eagle Flight Academy, Amero, along Oki Ogunbade axis, Ibadan. Visit Femiel Multipurpose Hall today or call us on 0912 345 4561 or 0904 245 5770 for bookings and inquiries. Femiel Multipurpose Hall. Experience more, enjoy more.
Unlock your child's reading potential. Introducing Bookworm Empowerment Children Literacy Center. We nurture a love for reading and learning in children for lifelong education with technology assisted in teaching learning to read and reading to learn. Expert instructors with a passion for teaching reading. Personalized reading learning plans tailored to your children's needs. Fun, interactive and engaging learning environment. Small class sizes ensure individual attention. Regular progress updates and parent-teachers conferences. Our program consists cognitive and technical reading skills, phonics, phomic awareness, fluent reading, decoding, vocabulary comprehension. Enroll your child at this very excellent period. Contact us to register your child right now on 0802 351 9154. Address GAF Building by Keto Petrol Station, Orogun off University of Ibadan, Second Gate. Empower your child with the gift of literacy.
Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. All right, now to PDP.
Yeah, PDP is fractionalized already into 3 blocks.
Okay.
Yeah, the block of Nyesom Wike is there. Then you have the block of Atiku.
Okay.
Who seem not to be in, but I'll be out there.
Because there's like coalition, there's a coalition. Okay.
Busy with the coalition processes. Then the third one is the mainstream now, being controlled by Governor Seyi Makinde and Bala Usman. So you have 3 major blocks there. So for that party to leave, I think one, they need to know who is in, who are in and who are out.
Okay.
So they need to be so factual. In fact, you don't need to beg anybody. Get to know who are inside and who are outside. So the people that are inside, let them consolidate.
Okay.
And if you need to talk to some other party, talk to them. That's the way to do it. And what happened to PDP in 2014? So that you have 2 major fractions, so that at least people can, lawmakers and all that can have free hands, to just move into other party. Though already they have that blanket opportunity already, but of course they want to make sure that that party is destroyed. But the core, led by Bala Usman and Makinde, what they need to do is to consolidate. Whoever that are going, let them go.
Okay.
And whoever that are inside, get to know them and get to know how you are going to consolidate.
All right. Let's open the phone lines. 0705 500 1033 0905 444 1033. Let's take your reactions this morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
You're welcome, sir.
How are you, my dear sister?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
Honorable Loma.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Baba.
You are welcome, sir.
You are going.
Adupe.
I'm Evangelist Olasawu from Bill Kwaraba. Honorable.
Yes, sir.
We thought it going. I mean, long year. Do you think Nigeria will survive this?
I think so.
Should be the major opposition of this APC. I'm not a politician. I have my own job doing. But this government has nothing for us. They should show their way out. If that is not taken, APC will destroy Nigeria totally. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Evangelist. Appreciate your comment.
I want to say that political elites on the general note, not APC alone.
Good morning to you, sir. You're welcome, sir.
To target this death now, it will be another body. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tolu. Appreciate you. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, dear star. This is Prince Bumi Adefusi calling from Apata, a great Igbo analyst.
Good morning, my prince.
I think I must commend the PDP committee this time for stepping on the toes of Wiki.
Yeah.
I think they have to take care of Wiki first before Atiku, one after the other. Because if they can ensure normalcy in that party, I think they still have something to offer. But if they continue with their issues and all that, I don't think they have anything to do. So that is why they must make sure that they put the house in order for the betterment of their party and for Nigeria, because we've tasted them and we know the better ones. That's my submission. Good morning.
Thank you very much, Prince Bumade Fusi. I appreciate your comment. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. All right, maybe it's the network. Please do call back. Hello, good morning. You're welcome, sir.
My name is Caleb Alabi from Alaka Sheborut. I just want to comment on this borrowing. I hope this APC government will not sink Nigeria economically. Quarterly, there's no way you know they are borrowing. You are borrowing for consumption. You do what this government is not prudent at all. That 24.1 billion is secure. Loan will be catapult to 183 trillion dollars. I don't know. Oh, this
trillion naira.
Trillion naira. Yes,
everything amounts to that.
Our government should be prudent. We are going for consumption. Since the era of Buhari, nobody can point to any good tangible facilities. Secondly, on the issue of Sule Davidu, who said we not attend any meeting called by PDP except Wike and Autumn is expelled from the party. There's a profile in my language. You can't put a board by your side and start planting a mace. You see, you can't sit among the impositors in the party. Except the PDP, they expelled the Wike. There cannot be any meaningful development in the PDP.
All right, sir. You have a nice day too, sir. Thank you. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
You're welcome, sir. It's good to have you.
Good morning, my brother.
Thank you, sir. See, regarding the issue of PDP, former Governor Jikawa Sule Lamido said he should expel Wiki and Autumn.
Outrightly.
Sir, so if PDP expel Wiki and Autumn, heaven will not fall.
Yes.
So PDP please, they need a discipline, because what is going on in PDP right now, if there is not taken, even all other governors, they may divert to the ruling party. But what I read this morning, that INEC also violated the Anwayahu, what is his name?
Samuel
It's very wrong, and they have rejected him. So that's the reason why some others that have become GPC, they mentioned that if they accept that, if secretary issue continues for long like that, during the election time, they may struck their candidate away that someone that's supposed to sign or is not in the best position to sign.
It's a time bomb, yeah.
Yeah, so PDP do the for that regard. If they want Nigerians to stay out, that we have strong opposition, or if care is not taken, somebody move to a coalition party, which is very wrong at this moment.
All right.
That's my own submission.
Thank you very much, Salama Sharif. Appreciate you coming. Now let's come to Facebook. Let's take a pause with the calls and go to Facebook. Pastor Dr. Mukala Famiwa says, good morning. I-FLIER family members. 3 years ban for examination malpractice is good. Hope it will be implemented in Nigeria, said by Tinubu. It's a political statement. Good morning, all. Thank you very much for your comment, Pastor Dr. Mukaila. Adeda Amalo Kunlola says, beautiful morning to you. The rate at which this APC-led administration keeps borrowing is alarming. Assuming the money borrowed is used to stabilize the economy, it would have been better, but instead, the economy keeps getting worse. The federal government should do better and tackle the hunger in the land. May God deliver Nigeria. Thank you very much. Let's come to Luashin Road. She says, good morning, I-FLIER FM. I don't see any opposition party that can dislodge this APC come 2027 because their selfish interests won't make them put aside their differences. And this is really taking us to one-party state. But I believe we Nigerians are more wiser to vote for personality and not political party. Thank you very much. Olakunle Akomo says, good morning, great team. Well done. I-FLIER Radio is the best. Thank you very much. Taking loan is not to be paramount. Issue of power and security must be prioritized. God bless our great nation, Nigeria. Thank you very much. Let's come to Boluwachife Ademijuwon says, good morning. Kudos to NIMET for proactively holding state government accountable regarding heavy rainfall. This should prompt them to take necessary flood prevention measures. I urge residents to flood-prone areas to take precautions and advise our governor to continue dredging our rivers, as it seems a viable solution to mitigate flooding. Thank you for your comment. Mariam Yetunde says, good morning. Nigeria's increasing debt burden is alarming. The proposed loan amount will likely exacerbate the country's